Hey music junkies, Professor of Rock here with our latest edition of Pop Fix, where we focus on the greatest artists and the greatest songs of all time. First of all, please subscribe below, join our community, celebrate this great music. Incomparable elegance, uncompromising quality, spine-tingling, soul-expanding vocal majesty. These are just a few of the words that describe Gladys Knight, one of the most underappreciated vocalists of all time. You know, she's often overshadowed by critics in favor of artists like Diana Ross, Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, and Mariah Carey, but the influence on her peers and contemporaries is undeniable, and her impact in music history deserves special recognition. A naturally gifted singer, Gladys made her solo debut when she was only 4 years old, singing at the Mount Mariah Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia. She started to achieve national recognition after she won the award for Best Performance on Ted Macks' original amateur hour TV show when she was only 7 years old. Then when she was 8, she formed the Pips with several siblings and cousins. The band, of course, would later be known as Gladys Knight and the Pips, and were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1996 and the Vocal Group Hall of Fame in 2001. What I believe makes Gladys so extraordinary is how her singing style can take your senses through an intense emotional journey. While listening to Gladys sing in just a 3-minute song, the beautiful honesty of her vocals can not only make you cry, but then as the song builds, she can hit you with bravado that makes you feel like you can take on the world. And then she will lift you up while unleashing an all-encompassing, life-changing spirituality. Listening to Gladys sing is truly an exhilarating experience. As amazing as Gladys is, I have to give mad respect to the 8 artists that were at one time members of the Pips, including Gladys's older brother Bubba Knight, sister Brenda, and cousins William Guest and Eddie Patton, who sadly have both passed away. The Pips were the invaluable Hall of Fame supporting cast that helped Gladys Knight showcase her incredible talent to become the Empress of Soul. Now, as a child of the 80s, I remember the first time that I heard Gladys. It was when she was part of the ensemble behind the #1 smash, That's What Friends Are For, written by the legendary team Burt Bacharach and Carol Bayer Sager. Now, looking past the song itself for a moment and just focusing on the vocal phenoms in that room, Dionne Warwick with her sweet and graceful voice starts the song. Stevie Wonder, of course, gives his typical genius performance. Elton takes us a little bit higher with his smooth and welcome tenor, and then Gladys steps up to the mic and she burns the place down. I'll be on your side forevermore. This, of course, motivates Elton to go turn it up to 11 with his Keep Smiling lyric. By that time, there's so much pure, unadulterated joy created by these 4 legends that as a 10-year-old, I was pretty certain that world peace was achieved that day. It had to be. Of course, I found out later it wasn't, but I think for a few minutes it was. A few years later, she gave new elegance to the James Bond catalog with License to Kill, which, in my opinion, was better than the movie. She's the kind of legend that legends praise. What stood out to you most about Gladys Knight after working with Whitney, Aretha, Barbara? I mean, all these incredible
icons. She's my mother's favorite singer. My mother was 19 years old when she had me. My mother knows music. My mother's favorite singer is Gladys Knight. So for me to even be in the building with Gladys Knight is like royalty. And when she opens up, you get all that grit in your voice. That's really her. She's a master. She completely controls her voice. She learned all different parts of the song. And after she learned all the parts of the song, she goes, okay, guess what? Go to the very beginning and let me sing all the way straight through. It's okay. And what you're hearing on that song is her singing that song. Wow. Straight through.
Wow.
I mean, I may have done a little thing here and there, but basically you're hearing, after she learned it, she owned it, and she ripped it. But that's what she does. Every time. Midnight Train in Georgia, anything she does. Yeah. She got that gear. It's real control. Like, you think about vibratos. Gladys vibrato, she's controlling that thing.
Yeah.
She's controlling it. She can go like that, or she can go like that. She can go like that, or she can go like that.
Yeah.
It's control. That the body can do that. Got a license to kill.
Anyone who tries to tear us apart.
Then borrow the James Bond theme. Ba-da, you know? Da-da minor, da-da. Gladys will whip you everywhere she wants to. So I just bow down and stay down.
Gladys Knight, one of the icons in my life of music. I adore this woman, and to get an opportunity to perform with her and work on and make recordings, it's been a joy over the years. We did several songs, but the Christmas stuff was special because she wanted to do When a Child is Born. And it was not easy because we had to find a key that was palatable for both of us. And everybody, I said, well, it's a little too high, it's a little too low. Gladys says, don't worry, put it in your key, I'll sing it. And she just improvised all around me. And it was a joy, a joy.
And your voices complemented each other so well.
Surprisingly, yes.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Because they're so distinct and different, but they fit together very well. And especially...
we loved each other.
It was tough, but here are my top 5 Gladys Knight recorded performances. Number 5, the gut-wrenching powerhouse, You're the Best Thing That Ever Happened to Me. And I'm not the only one that feels that way.
And I've always had this fantasy that some beautiful, tearful woman will insist on You're the Best Thing That Ever Happened to Me by Gladys Knight.
Number 4, Neither One of Us Wants to Be the First to Say Goodbye. A gripping tearjerker that went to number 2 in the Hot 100 in 1972. Number 3, Gladys's heart-affirming conviction on the ballad, If I Were Your Woman from 1970. Number 2, Heard It Through the Grapevine. It was 1967, about a year before Marvin Gaye's iconic version went to the top of the pop charts in the US and the UK, and number 1 on the R&B chart, when Gladys Knight and the Pips released their version of Norman Whitfield and Barrett Strong's timeless classic. It also went to number 1 on the R&B chart and peaked at number 2 on the Hot 100. Now, Gladys is so amazing on her version with the Pips that it sounds like an entirely different song from Marvin's masterful interpretation. Gladys Knight and the Pips version of Grapevine was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 2018. And number 1, I gotta go with Midnight Train to Georgia, a number 1 smash from 1973 written by Jim Weatherly. Now, interestingly, the song was initially recorded by Weatherly himself under the original title Midnight Plane to Houston. And then Cissy Houston, Whitney's mom, recorded it, changing the title to Midnight Train to Georgia. No disrespect to Cissy at all. But when Gladys got a hold of that song, she turned Midnight Train to Georgia from a reserved generic ballad into a breathtaking R&B pop standard. Just thinking about the way she accentuates the lyric, but he sure found out the hard way that dreams don't always come true.
But he sure found out the hard way that dreams don't always come true.
It still gives me goosebumps. Gladys should be celebrated as one of the greatest vocalists of all time. Go listen to all of these songs I've just mentioned and more of Gladys's best in the Spotify playlist we've curated. Just click on the link below in the description and go take a listen. So let us know your favorite Gladys Knight performance and why. What is your favorite song? What do you think about her? Share in the comments below. And please subscribe, help us build this community, keep the music alive. Until next time, 3 chords and the truth, my friends.